I'd like to talk about the notion of not talking about your relationship to others and why it's always struck me as a bit peculiar. Well, maybe it's just from a guy's point of view, because if we like something, if we're proud of something in our lives, we want to talk about it, we want to share. That when a man might be having troubles with his woman, the response is usually, women, what are you going to do? Whereas when women get together and a woman expresses her discontent, it's like, you deserve better, dump his ass. Or he doesn't appreciate you. So it's very different between men and women. And you also add into the mix the way men think about admiring your best buddy, that he has a great and hot and beautiful and decent girlfriend. You think, wow, I want to find a woman like that. Whereas a woman will think, I want him. So women have a vindictive, tearing down nature that men don't tend to have. So I can understand from a woman's point of view why she doesn't want the relationship discussed about, good or bad. Bad, she's fearful that your peer group will want you to discard her, or if you admire something about your personal relationship, that the other men in your group will want to take her from you. But that is projection, because that, I think, is what women tend to do that men don't. I know there are exceptions, but generally, the men I've been around, the conversations I hear, how unmanly it is to take another guy's girlfriend, all wrapped up in honor, how unnoble and unmanly it is to betray your brother and take his woman. Whereas a women's lexicon revolves around, you're worth it, they're special, they can calibrate themselves based on their feelings, whereas we need to calibrate ourselves based on reason and the respect of other men. I think the reason of not wanting to talk about your problems with others really stems from that a woman's peer group will get her to leave a man if there's any kind of problems, whereas a man's peer group will ask the hows and whys, or even just dismiss and say, well, that's just the part of having a relationship. Whereas with a woman, when she talks about her problems with her friends, they'll tell her to leave him. If a woman publicly expresses her discontent of men in general, she's told she's worth it, she needs to find perfection. She needs to find a man that accepts her no matter what, she's a goddess. Whereas with a man, there's much more of a realistic discussion with his friends, because we tend to want to work reality out, and brainstorming reality with our friends, trying to sort of twist the reality dials to work out our problems, doesn't necessarily mean with us guys that we want to get rid of a relationship. We want to work it out. I don't think women want to work relationships out. They want them to be good in their eyes, or they'll discard them and find something else. Again, just like their shopping. I'll just get something new. Men aren't fans of shopping. When we have something we care about, we try and fix it. And I know women keep telling us, we don't want you to fix our problems, we want you to listen. But a lot of women aren't saying anything. So I was just thinking about that sort of, don't talk about our relationship to others. Because they think the way men talk about relationships to their buddies is the same way they talk about their relationships to their female friends, because they're ready to jump ship. And I think that's why it always struck me, why can't I talk about my relationship? Because I certainly want to talk about the positive aspects. And I have in the past to guys how happy I've been in relationships. And when I've had problems, I haven't discussed any personal details and secrets, but I have talked to friends. It's a way of trying to fix an area in my life that I want fixed. I don't want to throw it away. I want to fix it. And a way of me trying to fix it where I can't fix it with a person because they don't want to communicate is communicating somewhere. And usually it's with other people who I trust. And to tell you the truth, the people I've discussed it with, they've never told me to leave the person. They've tried to help me adjust the situation, to talk, to communicate, because they recognize that I care about this person. I don't just want to discard them. They're not as disposable as an item I bought last week. They are something woven into my life that I care about for the long term. But if you're not communicating, you're arguing, and they probably notice that you might be spending time with other people in your life that actually understand and care about you and want to communicate and want to help your life be better and they won't. I think that's the fear, because I think amongst women, they're more prone to saying, you're perfect, the world, men, and your man in particular doesn't recognize how perfect and great you are. There is nothing wrong with you. And it's this tendency that they know that amongst women and themselves, they're ready to blame everything and everyone because they don't want to face the responsibility. And so in a similar way, they think that that's what happens when you get together with your friends or people in your life that you try and work problems out with. Where men are trying to work things out, we're not trying to find excuses to go shopping for a new woman. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you thought that it's peculiar whenever partners or women in general say you should never talk about relationships? I've always thought that why shouldn't I openly and honestly talk about my feelings, good or bad, not in a vindictive, hateful way, but in a way where I care enough about it to fix it, I care enough about it to praise it, I care enough about it to, and especially if I can't talk with the person themselves, I care enough about the relationship to try and get it back on track or work it out or what have you. Let me know your thoughts below. As always, please subscribe and hit the bell. Share my videos around on your social media and link me around. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. And donate if you feel like it. Links below. Thanks to you guys who have donated through PayPal or subscribed through Patreon. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are the best. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.